Welcome to the Black Delegates podcast. Today's date is April Fool's Day 2019. April Fool's Day, or is anybody still doing April Fool's Day out here in these streets? I don't know. I'm too grown.
Of course, people do it.
I'm too grown for it. I don't bother. I hate the fact that actual news sources do April Fool's jokes. I think it's stupid. So I pretty much avoided the internet today. What about you, Paul?
I'm not down with April Fool's Day. When I was a kid, I was thinking like I'm gonna do something epic for April Fools, and then you just spend like days. It's like me and Netflix. Like I just spend all my time thinking of what to do, and everything is trash, and I never end up actually doing anything.
All right, it's episode 56. You just heard from the great Box Wine Poppy.
Yo.
And Ghetto Phenom.
What's good? What's good?
Nothing much, man. I don't know. I could do some kind of corny April Fool's joke and then just be like, there's no show tonight. Haha. And then just turn it off or something. I don't know.
Yeah, by the time the listeners are listening, April Fools will be over.
We should have like a white delegates pod for just today's episode. You know, we can talk about, peach cobbler. We can talk about, rock music. We can talk about.
Is peach cobbler white though?
I feel like it is. I feel like that's a white staple. I feel like that is.
Phenom? You think peach cobbler is white?
It depends on how it's made.
And fruit salad.
How else do you make it?
I'm not going to secede peach cobbler to the white delegation. No.
My mom always make peach cobbler. I mean, it's been a staple, and it's fire. So yeah.
Okay, we'll go with 7-layer dip and fruit salad. Let's go with that.
All right, I'll give you that.
Or any other type of cobbler, but peach cobbler, yeah, we at least keeping a piece of that. We can't claim it all the way, but we got part of it.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. Let's get into these weeks. How was your week, Phenom?
My week was pretty solid. Got an opportunity to go check out Us, the movie, this weekend. So wife and I went and checked it out, and I had seen a lot of mixed reviews on it. I heard some people say it was dope. Some people say it was, trash, or not trash, but people just said it just wasn't really good. So I didn't know what to. What'd you say?
Expectations.
Yeah, expectations. I didn't know what to expect, but I enjoyed it. I mean, it's definitely a layered movie. It's one of those movies where you almost got to see it twice, or you got to do some internet research to see what you missed, because it's so many little parts of it and clues and hints and this and that. And the way I interpreted it was a lot different than the way other people I done talked to interpreted it. But that was my Friday night. I will say they did tax on the tickets. I wasn't really expecting it. I know movies, have gone up. Me and my wife go to the movies fairly regularly, and but this one, movie theater we go to have like different types of theaters. You got the kind of general seating, you got the reserve seating, and you got a level above that. I think they were $16 each plus the service charge that you got to get. So it was like for the 2 tickets, it almost was $40. It's like $36, $37, and I was like, dang. Like, I don't remember.
Now, is this one of the theaters where they got the wine and the cheese plates, or is this just like a
the
basic
seats
theater?
laid back and all that?
Yeah, the seats laid back. They got a full restaurant up in there where you could straight get
those tickets cost
hamburgers, pizzas, and all that.
Booze. They got booze in there though. That's the question.
Do they have? I don't know if they got alcohol in this one.
I think they let you get a beer.
Yeah, the one we go to, I don't know. I don't recall them having it, but it's possible.
That's possible.
Yeah, had a little sticker shock looking at that, but
Now, I thought y'all too. What happened to what was it, Movie Pass? What was that thing y'all used to tell me about? That was y'all gaming system.
I was on Movie Pass.
Okay. That doesn't exist anymore, or what?
I'm black and I got kids, so I can't never go. So Kayla was the only one using it, and I'm like, you got a job, you pay $10 a month. So I turned it off.
Well, Movie Pass.
She still go to the movies every week, but she too cheap to get the Movie Pass.
Yeah, Movie Pass kind of crashed and burned anyway. It still exists, but it was like when it came out, it was $10 a month for unlimited movies, and then of course they just burning through cash like crazy.
Right.
So then that wasn't when it first came out. It had actually been out for a while, and it was like $30 or $40 depending on where you lived. Then they dropped it to $9.99. Everybody got it, but everybody, of course, was going to the movies 3 times a week.
8 times a week. Yeah.
So they tried to switch it up and change it and say, okay, well, we're going to leave it $10 a month, but you can only see 3 movies, and people started canceling. So I said, no, you can see it, but we're going to restrict certain blockbusters, or you can't see movies twice. And so they tried to keep changing all the rules, and people really just stopped messing with it. So I think the owner ended up selling it. Somebody else bought it. So they're still around. Now it's not $10 anymore. It's probably $20, $30 again, but it fell off from when it first came out.
Dang. It was $10. It was $10 when I canceled it, and I was just like, I'm out. And of course, it threatened you like, once you leave MoviePass, we will not allow you to come back for 3 years. It's like, man, if you don't shut up, man, cancel.
Now, Ryan, you said you're gonna go see Us this weekend, right? You still planning?
The weekend's over. I didn't make it. I mean, I'll talk about it.
I thought you were gonna go this upcoming weekend. I was
gonna go this past weekend.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll get to you.
So Ish, you recommend it? You recommend this? This is something I should go see?
I do. I recommend it. I enjoyed it.
Is it scary?
It's not really scary. And
Spooky.
I think that's where some people who have disappointment about it, I think that's where they get it, because it's billed as a horror movie and scary. And for some people, I guess it is scary, but it's more of a
slasher
thriller, suspense thriller. Yeah. As opposed to a straight horror movie. And like Get Out, like I say, it's layered. There's a bunch of symbolism in it, or it refers to a lot kind of under the scenes, unspoken. So I liked it, but no, it's not scary in a sense of a horror movie. But there are some, tense moments or suspenseful moments in it.
All right. Now we'll definitely be sure to check that out on a plane 3 years from now.
Yeah, right. So,
right, and we'll never be able to do the review.
Right. Other than that, told you last week, church anniversary, wife was leading it, so I couldn't get out of it. So.
Required to be there.
Best weekend ever.
Right. Did that.
What goes down? Break it for the non-church goer like myself. Like, just break down what's the point? What happens? Everything. Just break it. Just break it down for me.
I think we've talked about it before. I mean, essentially, it's just celebrating the church. Like for my church, this one was the 80th anniversary. So, whenever you get the round numbers, you get some more sentimentality behind it. So it was a big deal. But I mean, in general, church anniversaries, you got church anniversaries, you got pastors' anniversaries. Both of them in the black churches is usually a second service. That's my biggest beef. I'm like, just have one extended service if you need to, but like for me, we had the regular service at 11 till 1:30, and then had to come back at 3 for the second service, and that's from 3 to 5:30. So it's basically you're just in church all day long. But this one, it was done well. I had said I was sworn off from church anniversaries, but like I said, the wife did this one. So I went. If this is the last one I go to, which is my goal, then that would have been a good one to end with.
How are you going to avoid it for next year? It's just going to be the same thing next year, right?
Well, she's not going to be. She's not going to be running
next
it.
year. Next year, it's going to be running it.
Yeah, that's
how it works, man. Look at God. That's how it works.
Not gonna happen, fam.
Anytime you think you're finna get out of something, they be like, you know what? I think the Lord told me to put you on the committee this year.
I'll be like, the Lord ain't told me. He ain't called me. I looked at my phone. I got no missed text messages, player.
All right, but on the coordinated side, what's the hard part? I mean, it's just like a slightly fancier service that you guys usually have, maybe just 2 a day instead of 1. But
well, you usually inviting guests, so if you got sister churches, you invite them, and a lot of them. This didn't happen at ours on Sunday, but a lot of times with the black churches, if you invite another pastor or another church, they come up and they choir sings. Yeah, the pastor talks.
A and B
selection. Little mini choir up there.
Yeah. They have a minister off. They have a minister off in there.
Yes,
right.
That's a
and
fact.
So this happens Normally, this happens like 5 times because they got like 5 or 6
Yep.
guest pastors there, and they always call up their little handful of people to come sing a selection. Like I said, that didn't happen with this one. Actually, it was kind of dope because my wife had all the old choir, like anybody who sung in the choir, kids choir, adult choir, young adult, whatever, like they all came together and formed this super Voltron choir where it was like 100 people in that mug. So that was cool. See a lot of old faces, but we avoided that whole drawn out ministers coming up. Like I think the pastor recognized a couple, but it wasn't crazy drawn out like that. So
those other ministers are probably hot. They probably stood up when they got recognized. They were like, "Oh, I'm about to walk up here and I'm about to stun on them." No, we don't want to hear you talk. Go sit down.
So what about you, BWP?
I had not, man. My week was trash. Didn't do much, man. Just kind of weather was great. Got out a little bit, just hung out with the family. That was it. I do have some big news for you. I can't let y'all know just yet though. But I do have some big news for you. It's coming soon. Just for the regular listeners, just know it's coming soon. It'll be some good news. I need some good news in my life. So
y'all finally free Taipei. He gonna tell us that you free the country, free the people.
Free people. No, man. I got some good news coming one day, but can't tell you now. But other than that, man, just chilling, man. It was a straight week. I paid my taxes finally. That hurt me bad. bad.
Is that a hint on the good news? You powerballing over there? Hit them numbers. Somebody
did no
win.
Check yet, so I guess not.
All right.
I hope I get some. Oh dang! He didn't just left the podcast. We figured it out.
He dipped immediately.
He just hung up. It's like they figured it out. We got to change our numbers.
He Don Marched us, bro.
We're sorry. Box Wine Poppy that you were trying to reach, it's no longer available.
Right. So, well, I guess what about you, Ryan? Until he comes back on air, if he comes back.
Are y'all there?
Yeah, we are. I was going to say,
man, what happened?
Man.
It just totally dropped out, man.
Yeah, it did. As soon as we talked about the Powerball, but it's
right,
cool.
Right.
Did not win the Powerball, man. But yeah, anyway, yeah, man. Just a basic week, man. Didn't do too much, man. Just chilling, watching a little basketball here and there. Hang out with the kids. That was it, man. Nothing special. I wish I had more to report, but I got good news. I can't drop it off just yet.
Okay. Not a problem.
Yeah,
all right.
About you, Ryan.
On me. All right. So, had an action-packed weekend. So this was my remember last year when I first started my job, we had that little weekend getaway where the boss takes all of us out and we do a little day thing and an overnight stay at the hotel and breakfast the next day or whatever. So had that this past weekend, had a blast. It was cool. We got a chance to go to an exclusive gentleman's club. Don't get excited, Paul. By the name of Top Golf. So we did.
Top Golf is fire.
Hey, Top Golf is
Gentleman's club.
It is an exclusive gentleman's club. Have you seen the line outside? It's ridiculous. You think that
Beyonce you probably drop more money in there than you could at the
from what it looked like. It's exclusive as a mug. Yeah. So got a chance to go there. That was our first little stop. We had to meet up there. We was up on the second floor in the corner. Went down there, had a little food and drinks and all that. I had some strawberry lemonade. Because it's a lot of haters out there, and they'd be like, "Oh, he said he had a drink." Yeah, I had some lemonade, player. Relax. Mm-hmm. So
some Tanqueray in it. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So did that, man. You did not say like how sophisticated Top Golf is.
Oh yeah, man.
You know that it's all tracking the ball and all this kind of stuff, and
oh yeah.
The trajectories, man, that's cool as a mug. So I was excited when they started doing that because at first I thought we was just up there hitting the ball, and I'm like, how are we supposed to know who's scoring what? Because everybody's hitting the ball. And then they were like, oh, it tracks your ball, and it'll say, where it went and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, what? So
yeah, they got it all figured out, man. It's top notch, man.
So what did your golf game look like though, compared to the white people's?
When was the last time I played? Did I play with you last? Probably at your bachelor party. That's why the last time I had a golf club, or maybe at the driving range. I probably went to the driving range a few times. Same thing, man. Still slicing it. Still couldn't figure out why. I'm trying to stay far, far away from golf because it is fun, and it seems like it's something that I could get into, but I don't want to get into it.
Why not?
Because it's expensive.
You know I am. I'll be playing golf every single day.
No, you won't. That's because the cost of admission will keep you from that player.
I got to stay away from it. So I'll be at Topgolf all the time. I did ask the girl on the way out. I was like, hey, what if I came in right about now, and it was about 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon. If I came by now, how long would the wait be? Because I was like, this is kind of cool. I might want to come back with the wife. And she's like, about 3 hours. I was like, 3 hours? I ain't waiting 3 hours to do nothing.
What day did you go? On a Saturday?
It's on Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Oh, that's why, man.
It don't matter. That's ridiculous. It's always packed, though. Every time I drive by, it's packed.
Now, if you go during the week, like during the day, during the week, it's not that bad. It's not. Or actually, you can just walk in because it's still big. And then also, you can reserve a spot online. So if you really just didn't want to wait.
What they say, $25 to reserve it?
Something
Why
like
am I paying you money to reserve? Man, come on.
Skip that line.
They true.
Yeah, they got one like I didn't go in there, but we were talking about while we were there in Vegas. Like they got a big one in Vegas. I want to say it's the biggest one they got in the country, in the MGM casino. But they got their own Topgolf in there, and it's. Nice. I heard it's wild. I need to check it out one time. But I'm not really into golf like that. But I just want to go check it out one time. But I know them things they're nice, man. But Ish, can you save money by playing Topgolf instead of regular golf? I guarantee it's probably about the same, if not more, right?
You actually can save. I mean,
you don't have
because we're comparing Topgolf.
You don't have no cart fee.
You're comparing Topgolf more to a driving range because it's not the same as 18 holes. But the thing is with Topgolf is you can go up to 8 people, and then you're sharing that stall for like an hour, and it ends up being like $40. Well, you break that down between 8 people, you're not paying a whole lot of money. If you go to a driving range by yourself and you pay $10 for a bucket of balls, you're not on a time limit. But you can pay more that way.
If I'm going to practice, I would only want to practice at Topgolf. Like, it's no reason to go nowhere else. I wouldn't even want to go to the driving range because the ball comes out, rolls out in front of you. You ain't got to do too much of nothing. And the computer is doing all the work. I'm good. I would just go to Topgolf, and that's it. Yeah, it's expensive, but I think it's worth it for what it's doing.
But it's not like real golf. If you went out and tried to play golf course after that, you would struggle.
Like a driving range, though. But it's really a driving range.
The computer knows you're trash, and they adjust it slightly.
It's still a driving range if you want to, especially if you own the first floor. That at least simulates it a little bit better than being on that top floor. But yeah,
a lot of real golfers aren't big fans of Topgolf, but it's not built for that crowd. It's more built for, it's like a bowling alley, where it's just family fun for everybody. I'm not a huge fan of it as a driving range, but I think it's a cool place to go, for entertainment value.
Dog, I was like, if they would like expand this a little bit, put a basketball court up in here, with the ball that tracks everything, put a football thing in there so you can track your throws and everything. Dude, that'll be
you see what happens as soon as they let one black dude in the front door? You see what he starts talking about?
Right.
This ain't top.
Speaking of which, I pretty
golf,
much
man.
Was the only black person there.
Oh, that was the next question I had.
And I rolled in, and it was just us. Everywhere we looked, it was white people wall to wall. There were lots of those.
Did the music stop when you walked in? Did the record skip?
Music didn't stop, but the girl did grab me immediately when I walked in. She's like, "How can I help you, sir?" Like, I'm like, "Dang! Like, I just walked in. Like the door just slid open, and she asked me a question. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here with my company." And then, she directed me the right way. It was cool, but it was kind of, it was abrupt. She just popped up. So, we did see black people when the security rolled around. Security was rolling deep. I don't know what they was doing. It was 3 security guards. They thought they was the coolest security guards ever. Yeah. They was on a stroll. Their weave was blowing in the air. It was 2 chicks and a dude. And they was strutting like they was in the Beyonce video, and they came up, and the one girl she reached up and hit my wife on the arm, and she's like, "Hey girl, how you doing?" I thought she knew her, cause I was looking like, "Oh, who is this?" And she was like, "Oh, hey, blah blah blah," and nope, didn't know her. She walked away, and I was like, "Babe, who was that?" She was like, "I don't know, she just black."
Right.
Like,
They
y'all
don't see
just had a whole
y'all
conversation.
y'all don't see each other too much up in Top Golf, so y'all gotta shout each other out.
Yeah, she came up, dude was dapping us up, and I'm like, all right, man. Like, I thought you knew him, but nope, didn't know him. Did have a funny situation in the parking lot when we left out. It might have been one of those Curb Your Enthusiasm moments though, where the dude, a couple cars down from us, had parked very crooked, right? So he's taking up really two spaces, and he's really close to the other car, where they could barely get in. I think dude had to go around. So his partner, he takes his beer and just pours his entire beer all over the car, and just like whatever, And I was thinking about it, like he deserves it. He deserves that for parking like that. But what if he didn't park wrong? The guy before him parked wrong, forcing him to park wrong.
You don't park there, man. You don't park in that spot. I don't park beside nobody that's parked crazy, because I want that residual benefit, because it just throws off the whole line from there. So you got to park somewhere else, preferably like across like 5 blocks away.
Right. So we got up out of there, met over at the hotel, went there to check in. So it was about 4:30 or so.
Oh, this wasn't STL. This was somewhere else.
This was here.
Okay.
Yeah. We always do something semi-local.
Okay. Hotel. I see what's going on now. Little West Pipes action going on here.
So we slid over there, and we had an issue because they was like, "Hey, no rooms are available with the king size bed," and I'm like, "But our rooms are reserved." And she's like, "Oh, we just mean they're not ready yet." And I'm like, "Well, checkout is at 11, so I'm not really sure why the rooms wouldn't be ready yet." But okay, we end up sitting there for like an hour.
Nah, man.
Yeah, an hour. And she was like,
man.
She told us enjoy the lobby. Enjoy the lobby.
Enjoy the lobby.
She said enjoy the lobby. And so we sat there, and at one point I'm just like, did she forget about us?
Yeah.
It was like,
yes, she did.
We just gonna go to the bar and get some drinks and get the boss's credit card, and they went drinking. But I'm just like, I wanted to go upstairs for a second and catch some Sports Center and chill for a minute before we had to go back out. But yeah, she came back, gave us the key, went upstairs finally, was chilling. We literally had 15 minutes to get ready to go back down for dinner. And lo and behold, guess what happens? The door opens. And I'm like, what the heck is this? Turn around. It's a co-worker Lewis coming up in the door with his bags. Yeah. I'm like, Lewis, what are you?
No, it ain't working like that.
He was like, whoa. He was like, I hope nothing's going on up in here. I was like, bro, you lucky we ain't have enough time, because it would have been. But yeah, so they gave him a key to our room too. So that was interesting.
What hotel was it? You want to put him on blast?
The Drury. Yep, it was the Drury.
Yeah, put him on blast. Yeah, get him out of here.
Yeah, that happened to me and my wife before. Yeah, I'm trying to think, did we walk in on somebody else, or did somebody else walk in on us? I can't remember. I think somebody else walked in on us. We had just gotten in the room, and the same thing. 5 minutes later, door unlocked, somebody walk in. I'm like, whoa, like what's going on? So same thing.
Was you slaying it when they walked in?
Nah. We had just got there, man. So.
I definitely walked in on somebody one time. It was, man, I could see something moving. I was like, oh shit, I just closed that door real quick. I ran, man. I was like, man, give me that before I get shot, man. Oh.
Yo, would it be more embarrassing if somebody you knew walked in on you while you slaying it, or somebody you don't know?
I think it's equally embarrassing either way.
Equally embarrassing. But
then
I would have to work.
It depends what I'm doing. I might be in my power stance.
Hey,
right.
It already crossed my mind. I was like, I can get it in real quick, but I was still like, I need to get this stuff ready. I need to hook this because I was trying to hook the Chromecast up.
All I know is
I was like, I ain't got enough time.
Next time I come to the STL, I'm crossing the Drury in off my list, because I know, and especially room 313, because ain't no telling what's going on in there. I don't know what the deacons done in there, but I'm not going in there to find out.
Hey, it's nothing in the marriage bed is what's the saying? I forget.
Marriage bed is undefiled.
Right. Yeah.
Even when the coworker and his wife come in, huh?
No, I didn't say that. Still got to be between y'all two. But yeah. So that's about it. That's about it.
Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
Most companies don't do stuff like that, so that's pretty good, man. That's a good benefit.
Yeah, it was cool. Got a little breakfast, but I was not able to see us because we were at lunch and both of us realized that we owed soft and trash, and that it was already about 9:30, and there was no way we was gonna be able to go to a movie and stay woke. So he was like, "Yeah, I think I might fall asleep if we go to the movies," and I already had to preach on Sunday, so I was like, "Yeah, I don't really know exactly what I'm gonna talk about yet, so yeah, let's do that because I don't want to be up all night." So we just went back. So we had to try to catch the movie another time.
Is it cool hanging out with the coworkers, man? Like in social settings, like because I know there's got to be coworkers you dig. Some coworkers like I don't really mess with them too much. So
actually, my coworkers is all cool. It's not like the young crowd where we all the same age. Everybody's pretty much older than us. But I'd say the only issue is when you the person that's not drinking and everybody else is, it's weird. Anyway. Or I gotta constantly keep hearing the church jokes. Which I'm like, would you please stop it? Like, oh, no, we're going to take a picture of you with this drink in your hand. What's your church going to say? We're going to frame you. It's like, man, stop. Like,
sounds like you
everybody
knows
I don't drink.
That's what Paul does pretty much every episode.
Exactly. They taking my steeds.
Yes,
what are they
it's
doing?
Exactly like that. It's exactly like that. Well, minister, is it okay if you play a little golf? Like, man, yes, it's okay if I play golf. This is stupid.
Well, minister, is it okay if you take a hit of this hen dog right here?
Hey, they will ask you that. They'll be like, you can drink. I won't tell anybody. Like, man, stop. I'm fine.
Hit this black and mild.
Just gotta deal with that. But other than that, it was cool. Nobody. I didn't go to like the after spot. So they had an after spot.
That's where the nastiness goes down. That's where people get invited back to the hotel rooms.
Because last year they was like, oh, it was really tame this year, and I was like, oh, good. Mm-hmm. But this time, it was an actual bar next to the hotel, so they could just walk back over. Yeah, but white people get it in on the drinks, man. I was just like, what's the limit before you shouldn't be driving? Because y'all was drinking this whole time, and then y'all was like, meet back over here for happy hour. Like, y'all already had a happy hour.
Oh man,
the whole time we were there.
Yo, man, in Vegas, I seen several grown ass men getting carried through the lobby by their buddies, man. I seen like one dude, like, man, this dude, he was hurting bad, and I was like, he was just basically being carried by like three of his guys, like it was one dude on each side at his head, and then one dude had the legs, and they were just basically just. Like he was like wounded or something like that, and he was just struggling.
War veteran. Yeah.
Yeah, right. It was like
left behind.
And then somebody threw up in the bathroom like at like 10 o'clock in the morning on like a Saturday. I'm like, come on, dog. It's 10 a.m. You gotta drink a little more responsibly than that, man. You gotta pace yourself if you're early at 10 o'clock in the morning.
That's crazy. Maybe I got control issues, but I don't want to ever be in that situation where I got to depend on nobody to do nothing.
Yeah, word. Because look, if me and Ish, we might be strong, but we only gonna get able to get. I'm about to get one ankle, and that's it.
That's true. All right, let's move on, man. We gotta get into these topics.
We ain't got nothing to talk about, so let's just keep BSing, man.
I should have moved this one up a little bit, and that's what I plan to do to get it out the way. But unfortunately, we got to bring it down for a second. Thoughts and prayers, and rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, the rapper from the West Coast who was shot and killed in front of his store out there. I don't really know what the reason was behind it, but every time I've ever heard about the dude, he seemed like a nice dude. Everybody's done nothing but praise him and the things that he had been doing for the community since this happened. So it's not like he was out there just living that kind of life. So unfortunately, he wasn't too young to be getting killed, but 33 years old.
Right.
So rest in peace and prayers to his family.
Yeah, and that one, I'm not gonna sit in front like I was a Nipsey Hussle stan, like I done listened to him since, way back in, when did he come out? Like 2008 or so, or something like that. But I'd heard of Nipsey Hussle. I knew who Nipsey Hussle was for a long time, but I really didn't start listening to him until like last year when his actual album came out. And I checked it out. I saw that I think it did well on billboards. I don't know if it topped the charts, but I think it did well. I said, man, let me check out.
I think
Keep
I
hearing
mentioned
about
it.
Nipsey
I
Hussle.
mentioned it because the other group was talking about it and said it was dope. So I was asking you if you had heard it before.
Yeah, so I checked it out and I was like, I remember thinking when I listened to it, I'm like, okay, like the West is back. Like that was literally my first thought as I listened to him. And, I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan. Kendrick is dope. Kendrick, put on for the West. But Kendrick has his own kind of signature style. He don't necessarily have a
Yeah,
West Coast
right.
style. And even the Game has been doing things for a while, but Game isn't necessarily West Coast. He reps the West Coast, but his style isn't hard West Coast. With Nipsey, it's like as soon as I heard him, I'm like, this dude is a West Coast guy. He just had that West Coast sound. And even going back today, the mid '90s, late '90s when we were in high school, and I was a West Coast guy back then. When it was East Coast versus West Coast, I was riding with the West. So to hear Nipsey Hussle kind of bringing that flavor back and doing it where it was intelligent, it was creative, it was dope, and then everything I saw on him beyond the music stuff was, like you said, he's just doing positive things. So I definitely had a big respect for him and what he was doing. So hate to see senseless stuff like that. I don't know, Paul. What are
Man,
your
I can't.
thoughts?
Yeah, man. Just hey, same things. It's senseless. What happened? I guess I've seen on Twitter they've got a picture of something allegedly his the killer or whatever that like that. I guess Nipsey kind of embarrassed him in front of a room full of people, made him leave, and I guess the dude came back with a gun and shot him. And I guess his brother got killed too, right? Nipsey Hussle's brother got killed. I think that's what I
I don't
heard
think
too.
anybody else died, did they?
Or maybe
Last I heard, they were
just
just
got
in the
shot. But
hospital.
I think they said his
Yeah.
brother got somebody else got of the other people that got shot. I think one was his brother as well. So yeah, man, it's a terrible situation, man. But I don't know, man. It's tough, man. You're from these neighborhoods, and then you try to give back, but you go back to these communities, and man, sometimes bad stuff happens, man. It's
Did
tough,
they
man.
did they anybody say like what they thought it was about or anything?
That's what they said.
Yeah,
They said they thought he embarrassed the shooter, and I guess he was known to the guy. They were known to each other, and I guess they were, hung out at the store or whatever like that. And I guess he embarrassed him. The dude left, got a gun, came back, and shot him up. So
Really,
yeah. Well,
man?
the police first said, it was they thought it was gang related, which of course they're gonna
They
say that
always
with
do.
black dudes and Nipsey, say he was a gangster back in
Was actually in the
as a
gang.
teenager and yeah, when he
Yeah.
like 16 or whatever. But he wasn't on that now. But they tried to say it was gang. Then of course, woke black Twitter and the internet is in this
Conspiracies.
conspiracy theory. Well, Dr. CB,
man, y'all
he's
gotta
doing
explain this
this
to me. I never heard of this dude before. Y'all
he's
gotta break
doing
this
this
down to me one day.
documentary and
Yeah.
the government killed Dr. CB and killed Nipsey for doing and even though I don't know that whole story, I know a little. I've read a little bit about that doctor. I'm like, this sounds far fetched. Like I don't think he got killed over this documentary about
Right.
a doctor a holistic doctor,
Who people
basically.
already know. People already know who he is, so it's not a secret. So I
Right,
don't know what he could be uncovering in this documentary that isn't already on this dude's YouTube clip when he was talking.
right. And
So
so, but like Paul said, it ended up being the guy came to the store. I guess um, Nipsey asked him to leave because apparently this dude was like a snitch, a known snitch. Everybody knew he was snitching in the community. So Nipsey, they say it wasn't even like any type of beef, but Nipsey asked him, told him, hey man, you can't be up in here like this. And dude got the strap and came back and shot him up. So
like
just
literally like he
crazy.
had to get out because he was a snitch. That was it.
That from what I
Allegedly,
read,
that's the story we're hearing now. But
Really?
I
yeah,
mean,
from
who
the
knows
story
what's
that's
true,
out
man?
there.
That's
Who really
extra
knows
weird,
what's
man.
true?
Yeah.
So, which is just crazy, but
This is
yeah,
why when I got
R.I.P.
money,
Nipsey, man.
when I got a little bit of money, I left, man. I'm not going, and I don't go back. That's it. I don't go back to the old neighborhoods, man. That's it. There ain't nothing there for me. I'm grown. I'm staying out of there, man. It's good this dude was trying to give back to his community, but sometimes, man, sometimes you got to get up out of there. And that's me.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
sad thing is like, it makes you wonder, especially when you talk about communities of color where there's not a lot of resources and all of that. It's like, do you give back and stay in the neighborhood like he was trying to do? I mean, he literally was buying blocks up, where he's building stores and he's building housing and he's just buying up whole blocks and trying to. I think he was supposed to have a meeting with the police chief
Like
and
that
with
day.
some other community leaders. Well, I think today, Monday, when we're
Okay.
recording, he was supposed to have a meeting with them about stopping gang violence. So he really was trying to change his community. But it's like when you keep seeing stuff like this over and over, it makes you think like, if I make it, do I help from afar? Do I just give money to something and stay away? Or do I get in there?
Right.
So he was trying to be in there and change it from within, but he got killed over some stupid stuff.
Yeah, give me that thing where, like, you know, you send $5 a month to some family in Honduras and you get like a little postcard back every 6 months. That's what I want, as far away as possible.
Man, it's sad to say, but
It's sad. Yeah, man.
I understand that train of thought.
Did police catch the dude yet?
They got a picture out there on
not
Twitter,
as
but yeah, who knows what's true, man? This could all be. It's just all conjecture, man.
He
Don't
probably
listen to
he
me.
probably
Anything I
won't
say.
even. He probably won't make it. I don't know. Somebody else might get him. Not sure.
Yeah.
But okay. All right.
Let's move on to happier news, man. Happy news.
We need some happy music to switch topics. But we're gonna switch topics, moving on to Ghost's awkward kiss on Beyonce. Did y'all get a chance to look at this video that I put in the Keep
Yeah.
with Ghost from dang, what's the name of the show? I'm getting old, man. I can't remember. Power, yeah.
Power, yeah.
Power, which I'm familiar with. I watched a few seasons until it started getting stupid. But yeah, it was a good movie. I mean, good show for a little while. But yeah, young Ghost was. I guess he got. I don't know, where were they at?
It was like the NAACP Image Awards or something like that. I think.
Okay. They were at the Image Awards, and I guess he was going up, or no, I guess it was maybe some before everything went down, and he's talking to Jay and asking for a picture, and old girl from 3LW was talking to Beyonce, and then Ghost was like, "Hey, I'm gonna shoot my shot and get in here and let me meet Beyonce." Like, "Hey girl, how you doing?" And then he just walks up and he gives her the regular greeting, like, "Oh, here's a little hug and a kiss on the cheek." But then he goes back and he kind of waits and he, like, you know, they make eye contact and then he goes back for another kiss on the cheek. Very weird. What y'all think about that?
Go ahead, Ish. I'm gonna let you have this one. I'm gonna let you rock first.
I mean, I don't know. The first time I watched it, I was like, so what? Like, it looked to me like they were familiar with each other, that they knew each other, that, you know, he kissed her on the cheek, hugged her. And I will say that second kiss was like, he hugged her. First, I noticed the hug. He hugged her extra long. You know, on that little hug. Right. And then you know, the kiss was extra long too. But for me, Beyonce really didn't look like she was offended by it. She looked, you know, I don't know. Jay didn't look offended by it. So for me, I was just like, you know,
Jay was
whatever.
looking very awkward though, because he didn't know what to do as long as that hug and kiss was taken. Like, what do
I don't
do
even
right
think
now?
he even noticed, man. Jay wasn't tripping off of that.
Yes, first of all, look, man, the dude from Power, like, yeah, he probably looked at Jay and was like, "This dude looks like Tracy Chapman. I'm definitely gonna kiss on his wife." You ain't scaring nobody. This dude, like, he lost to 96 bricks and still lived to tell a story, and now he looks like Tracy Chapman, man. And dude's just kissing his wife right in the mouth right in front of him. But yo, man, it's like, who cares, man? This is a peck on the cheek.
If you disrespect Jay, you know for sure Tata will jump out and stab you.
Well,
so you don't play
fine.
with them, man. Beans is in the back.
Well, where was Tata?
Bleak is right there too, I'm sure. He's behind the camera, and he will stab you too.
Look,
so
Bleak,
you don't play with the Rock.
Look, Jay-Z gonna have to text Bleak, PayPal him like $14 to take the Uber X to get over there to come slap.
They roll with him at all times. All times they roll with him. He's our driver.
Man, the kiss, the little cheek was nothing. But you know, I mean, homies, you know, he probably had a couple drinks in him while he was sitting there waiting in the crowd. He saw Beyonce over there. I mean, I don't blame the man.
Have y'all watched Power?
Like 2 episodes. That's it.
Okay, so have you seen how Ghost was doing Lala? Her and Carmelo ain't been the same since. How everybody up in there slaying Lala? Oh, it wasn't Ghost. It was Tommy.
You don't think it was Tommy? It was Tommy. Yeah.
You know how Ghost on there slaying 3LW. Come on, man. You can't be having that dude kissing on your girl, man. I know he only like 5 foot tall, but you know, if you're sitting down, I guess all things are equal.
Man, I'm not with. Hey, look, man. But I didn't think I didn't think nothing was wrong with the hug. I mean, it seemed like he was like saying something to her. So like, I see where you. I mean, it's just whatever, man. It's like it's. I mean, don't hug, kiss me like that. But I didn't see nothing wrong with none of it. Unless Beyonce comes out and says that she was offended, then I don't see nothing. Right. I don't see no harm, no foul.
I think Beyonce was looking kind of awkward on the second one. Just because
she probably just worried because her makeup, because the dude would probably kiss, bump up there with her beard, and he's messing up her makeup. I mean, it probably took her like an hour, 2 hours to get like crap on there.
So, yeah, all that crap.
Let's be. I mean, come on, let's be real. Come on.
The internet is not being so kind to him, so they've been trying to kind of Me Too this dude a little bit, saying that this is the problem, and he's pushing himself up on Beyonce, and she didn't ask for all that, et cetera, et cetera.
But people saying like that she looks uncomfortable. I don't see anything that she looks uncomfortable. I think more than anything, she's just making sure her makeup is looking fine, because she probably don't want to go back there and get it redone and stuff like that. I don't blame her about that, but I don't see anywhere where she's like looks uncomfortable. She's kind of like, okay.
I would say she did, but she didn't like look to Jay like she was uncomfortable, which that would be the telltale sign to me, is if she looked to him like, what this nigga doing.
She probably look at Jay, because Jay over there looking like Tracy Chapman with a double-breasted suit on. Like, what is he gonna do?
Man,
nothing.
If you disrespect the guy one more time, disrespect Hov one more time.
Man,
disrespect him one more time.
Look, man, Joe Camel looking self, man. Come on, they ain't about to do nothing. Get out of here. Dude,
show up when we go to Vegas. That's all I gotta say.
Look, hey, all you tell me something about some Diggy Simmons and Jaden Smith got bars, and and show up to Vegas and see what happens.
I told you Diggy can spit, and I hold by that. I stand by it. Diggy can spit, and if you haven't actually heard it, then you can't be out here just being an old man hating.
Well, I am, and I'm gonna keep hating.
like I said in the group, you ain't actually listened to no rap since Nas's Godson came out. But then every time we mention anybody try to put you on,
broke the mold. That album broke the mold. That was also to do after that. Just listen to trash. Everything was downhill from there.
Oh man, no, it's been a few gems here and there.
Here and there.
Gotta get back on it. Yeah. I ain't gonna steer you too wrong. I ain't say those dudes was like out here and I got them in heavy rotation. I just said I like that one song of Jaden Smith's, and then I said Diggy can spit.
All right, if you say so.
Yep. All right, moving on.
Diggy the next biggie.
I'm waiting on the second album, man. I'm thinking if he grew up a little bit, he probably has some bars for real. You heard it here first. Ishmael, is this one yours?
Yeah, this one's mine, and it's actually really related. Well, it's not related, but it's a similar subject with the whole Beyonce and Ghost deal. So Don Marsh, who was a long-time anchor here in St. Louis. Now he was on St. Louis Public Radio, and he was doing an interview with Karen Foss. And these are not black folks, but it's just an interesting topic. And like I said, it kind of ties into what we were just talking about. But Don Marsh is, who knows, like 70, 71 years old, had retired from TV. Karen Foss is also up there. She did St. Louis broadcast TV for a long time. She went on the radio to do an interview with him. They said, when they first came in the studio together, they hugged. He said, "Hey, you look great. How are you doing?" And, she says, "Wonderful, you too, whoop-de-whoop," sit down and do the interview. And then, everything's fine. And then I think it actually was a couple days later where the bosses at the radio station called Don Marsh into the office, and they said, "Hey, it was supposed to be some regular meeting, but they said, hey, one of our producers brought up the fact that you told Karen Foss that she looks great before the interview, and she felt like that was inappropriate." And so Don Marsh, he's like, what are you talking about? Like, inappropriate? He's like, you think that's inappropriate that I told her she looks great? And they said the producer, I guess, that had the issue, like, put up her fingers like, "Oh, you right up on the line." And so Don Marsh is like, "You know what? I'm done. Like, I quit. I'm out of here. I'm not about to play this game with y'all. Y'all trying to tell me I'm a creep. Y'all trying to Me Too me, but telling this lady that she looks great. peace, and quit like on the spot. So
Did he say, I ain't got time for this S?
probably.
That's what you should say if you that old. Right before you walk out.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, what are y'all thinking? I wish we had a woman on the show because we are in the Me Too movement, and I'm just
Nah, let's not
wondering.
have a woman on the show so we can we can say what we really want to say. This is garbage.
So
This is
Paul,
trash.
as the resident sexist on the show, what are your thoughts?
I mean, just on face value of the story, unless there's more to it. But yeah, I mean, if he said that, like, I mean, it's just a day and age we're in now, man. You gotta be careful. Like, yeah, I mean, I think I've said that to like some old, coworker, and I don't. There's nobody like young. I think I've said like, oh, you're looking, your hair did something with your hair or something like that. But in this day and age, man, don't say nothing. Just keep it moving. Just don't even just hey, dap me up, and that's it. I got coworkers like some ladies that I've been working with for years, and like when we see each other, not often, but they'll hug me, and I'm like, oh, you're the only person that can hug me. Like nobody else is ever allowed to hug me. That's it. That's it, man. Because it's just weird nowadays, man. You can't do nothing like this. Just keep your head down, give them the dap, and keep it moving. That's all you can do.
Yeah, Marsha's 80 and Foss is 75. Just a correction. So, Ryan, what
I'm sorry, I don't know why that just made it even funnier.
70. Okay. Look, she actually, you know what? I'm looking at this picture you sent with it. She doesn't look bad for 75. I gotta say, man.
Yeah, you better stop it, Paul. You're gonna be kicked off the show. I can't have that kind of language around here. We're not gonna be giving women any kind of compliments. But seriously, it does sound ridiculous. I hope that there was more to it than that. With them reprimanding him about it. But I don't know what this new generation is gonna do as far as how
far. New generation. How young was the producer? But it is
because it's new. The new rules are made by this generation. I mean, the old people are kind of getting on it, but the new people are making these rules.
But obviously, the 75-year-old, she complained, right?
No, she didn't complain. No, Karen Foss didn't have any issue. She actually said, like, she made a post on Facebook after the fact, and she said, this is a common way for people our age basically to greet each other. I wasn't offended by it whatsoever. But she said, she basically said, I'm a woman. I'm aware of sexism and discrimination. I didn't feel like this was a case. I wasn't threatened. I felt like it was fine. So that was her thoughts. It was really one particular producer,
a female,
who took issue with it. I think so. I don't know if the story says so, but I believe so. And the management claims that they weren't reprimanding him, but I guess because it was brought up by this producer, they wanted to address it, like, hey, let's talk about it. Let's figure out what's what and get over it. But man, Don Marshall just like, I ain't doing that.
I don't know. It's kind of been working its way towards where we are right now for a long time now. Every place that I've worked at, it seemed to have gotten a little bit worse and a little bit worse, where I've gotten to a point I don't compliment no women on nothing. Because it doesn't matter.
Product, nothing.
Yeah, man, nothing. Because anything you do is going to be taken the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Or, you be like, oh, I like your hair. Oh, I didn't get my hair done this week. Oh, what you trying to say? Oh, it only looked good today. You be like, oh, God, forget it. It's like, don't worry about it. So I know that's different, but that's what has been happening, at least to me personally. So I don't compliment nobody but my wife, man. And that's all to it. So anybody else is whatever. You on your own. Holler at your husband. I'm definitely not complimenting anybody at work. You see you be like, oh, I like their shirt or I like their shoes. Don't say nothing. Definitely don't say nothing about nobody's shoes, because they're gonna automatically say it's something sexual. Maybe I just like your shoes.
We had a little sexual harassment, like a questionnaire go around corporate, like just last week, man. Like, everybody had to fill it in, and basically it was like, have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen anybody be sexually harassed? Have you been sexually harassed? All that stuff like that. It's like, man, it's just serious out there, man. It's real out there. So if you're a dude, just keep your eyes down. Don't make no contact. But see, it makes it mixy because you get these companies where, like, hey, people go out and hang out and have some drinks afterwards, and that's where the real, could you let your guard down, right, man? You go out, you hang out with your coworkers, And you just like, oh, we're drinking a beer, we cool, and you just maybe you just say something, or you think you got a relationship with them, or just a rapport, and the next a few weeks later, you're like, oh yeah, I like that outfit you have, and you just maybe don't even mean nothing by it, and you just don't know how it's gonna go over, man. You gotta be not only by the person, but like other people that might hear you say it. So it's just gotta be careful, man. Be careful out there.
Yeah, and I think there does need to be a serious conversation about, I don't even know what to call it. I guess just about appropriate interaction and what that is today, because I do understand that for a long time, for decades and decades and even longer than that, women basically were ignored on any type of thing. So yeah. I understand we need to we need to listen. We need to take them as credible, all of that. So I definitely understand that. But I think you do have to have, I don't know, you have to figure out a way to have this discussion or to figure out this level of appropriateness or level of expectations where mundane stuff like this appears to be doesn't get swept up in that. And I wonder even if it's something where with older people, because if you look at like racial type of stuff, there's a lot of racial tension. I feel like if there's an 80-year-old that calls me colored, I'm not going to be as offended as if it was a 30-year-old calling me colored, because I'm like, he's just from that generation. Like, right. He ain't really mean nothing by it, or he just, it is what it is. I'm going to give him a pass, where I'm not going to give that younger person a pass. Is that something?
Look at that mulatto over there.
That Negro.
Is that something that we expect women to do too? Are you supposed to give a dude a pad? Like Joe Biden's got this stuff because he kissing women on the back of the head, or he's hugging them, or like, do you give a dude a pass because he's old, or are you still held to that expectation? And I feel like we don't really have those discussions.
And I mean, we'll get there. We'll get there. I mean, this is part of the process. You got to swing the pendulum all the way to the other side until we come back and figure out what we're willing to accept and not accept. So
I got the solution to all this.
Situation where it was actually some sexual harassment.
I got the solution to all this, man. Do what my company does. Hire only ugly chicks, and you're good to go. And you're safe. And that's how I made it through so far, buddy. Because
ladies, send your hate letters and death threats to @BoxWinePoppy on Twitter. Send all the smoke his way. That was not the Black Ryan. That was not Ghetto Phenom. That was Box.
I'm just saying it's a solution, man. You only have faithful as your options, and if your options are no options, then you straight, man. You good to go. So there you go.
So I've been in a workplace where there was actual sexual harassment going on. So my supervisor, a dude, was constantly making little comments about the women in their shoes or their outfits or their
to them, or just to you
to them. Not well. It was even worse to us, dog. Telling you.
Oh yeah, it's always 10 times extra.
So he would say little things like, "Oh, you got your riding boots on today," blah blah blah. And I was like, man. So I talked to the dude, and I'm like, "Hey man, like you need to chill. Like don't be doing that. You're making everybody uncomfortable." And I could tell. And one of the chicks told me she was something else that he had said when we wasn't around, and I was like, "That's not cool." And I asked her, like, hey, do you want me to talk to him again? And I said, I'll talk to him again. Like, he needs to stop that. And I was like, and then I said, if he keep doing it, go to HR about it. I was like, and that's all to it, because he can't keep doing it. And so I don't think she ever did, but she pretty much stayed away from him the whole time. And I don't blame her, man. And at lunchtime, that dude would get super graphic to the point where you got a bunch of dudes at the table and just be like, hey, man, like, you can't be talking about that right now. Like, you being too graphic. Like, this is too graphic for the barbershop. Like, you need to chill. And he was just a nasty dude, and that's how he got down. And he talked about it, and he told everybody. And yeah, man, we started avoiding him, and women were avoiding him. And he later called me after we had all got laid off and asked me to get him a job at my new spot. And I was like, we don't have nothing for you, bro. Sorry, man.
There's not a harassment senior harassment analyst here.
Right. Like, you got to get up out of here. I'm not helping you get a job. Yeah, that dude was trash. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with, man. If you in that situation, I don't blame you. Do what you got to do. But make sure that you being reasonable with it. But I think most people are reasonable. This is a outlier type situation.
Man, head down, sunglasses on. You get the fist. You get the 2-finger deuces when I see you, and if I really know you get a dap, and that's it. Keep moving.
Yep. All right. Speaking of guilty, Jussie. Jussie's still in the news, man. Why Jussie's still in the news? I don't know. I'm trying to stop talking about Jussie, but he just keep coming back. I know recently he's come out and he keeps saying he's not guilty, but I find it interesting that now everybody's calling for him to go to jail. It seemed like a bit much to me, but what did you want to hit on it with this one, Paul?
I just wanted, we came back around to it. I mean, I definitely threw all of us for a loop when he got the charges were dropped, and then he stuck with the lie. It's crazy. So I just wanted to get y'all's reaction to it. But I mean, on me, I'm like, I never thought he should really go to jail. I mean, but definitely maybe a light slap on the wrist. I think maybe this is a little too lenient than what I wanted or what I thought was appropriate, I should say. But I mean, I'm not too. I mean, more than anything, his reputation is destroyed because this was. I don't. I mean, none of us agree that he didn't do it, right? We don't think there's any doubt that he did this to himself, right?
What are you talking about, man? The DA dropped all charges. DA
said,
I knew it was coming. Come on with it.
Is not guilty, okay? Like Jigga and Kelly, he's not. Well, wait, not.
Hey,
not
don't
Kelly.
put Jay-Z up.
Yeah, like Jigga, he's not guilty. Let's get Kelly up out of there.
Kelly's really guilty.
Yeah, man. Let Jussie. He's
Let's
free.
call him Jussie. It's fine.
No, Jussie. He's free. There's no charges. Everything has been dropped. And for me, what really turned me, I'm with you, Paul. I never wanted to see him really do jail time. I thought he was lying. I felt like he should get ridiculed and get that public shame. But that whole 16 charges that they tried to lay against him was ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
That's because he's a black man. And the fact now, the way that you turn everybody who was against Jussie. We were all making fun of Jussie together. It was a good time. It brought black people together. And then all of a sudden,
black and brown.
Right. Once he got freed, now Trump is like, oh, the FBI and the DOJ is going to investigate Jussie Smollett. Yeah, what?
That's ridiculous. He
about to send the FBI
and the mayor the same way. Yeah.
So now
that's because he put in the MAGA people though. So he got a dog in the fight now.
Yeah, that's fine. But now you're going after Jussie, and I'm going to ride with Jussie. I'm going to give me a Jussie jersey.
Oh, and don't worry, Jussie going to ride with you for sure. That's Jussie definitely ride with you.
Yeah, he sure will.
Ride or die.
So I'm going to say the one thing that I think is ridiculous about this story is all of a sudden now we want to press charges against people that make false police reports. And we ain't done that for none of the white people that have called the police on black people. Not once. We've had 100 different things happen in 2018 alone. Ain't nobody ever said we need to throw them in jail and we need to do all this and do all that. It's the same thing. The man did the exact same thing as all of them. Everyone that we've made fun of on white collar crimes all have done the exact same thing Jussie did. Except the only thing, what changed? Nothing, because they got the same publicity and everything. So nothing changed outside of this dude is a famous dude. So y'all get out of here with that. He doesn't need to go to prison or anything. He got the social scorn. We don't know what's gonna happen with his character on the show. Maybe they'll keep him, maybe they won't, but that's up to them. And the same thing happens for all these other people and their jobs. So let's not start trying to add extra charges onto this brother like he out here molesting kids or something.
Yeah, I'm still gonna wait for
his bond. He paid like $10,000
right
for that. So pay monetarily. Let him
did
go.
some community service.
It says 130 of overtime for the Chicago Police Department.
Yeah, it's probably like $40 total.
130K.
Hey man, look. All I know is it's coming. Let this die down for about 3 months. There's gonna be the Oprah interview rollout or the Gayle King rollout. It's coming, right? He's gonna be like, I was on Xanax. And I was distraught with my lover. It's gonna be something, man. It's gonna be some kind of It's gonna be some kind of apology tour.
Jussie is never gonna admit guilt. He's
He
gonna
can't.
rock that innocent. It wasn't me to his dying day. He's taking the Shaggy defense to his grave. I believe that.
But how does it? Unless you do that, how do you get? How do you like? I mean, like, who? What show is gonna like? Who? What, he's gonna be like on Celebrity Big Brother? Like, what? I mean, what's he gonna be
He
doing?
could be.
He got no convictions. He got plausible deniability.
Right.
It was taken to a prosecutor. The prosecutor dismissed all the charges.
I got all that, but how does he get a career going after that?
Once they dismiss the charges, you got to treat him like he's innocent. He's not going to get fired from his job. They can't fire him. There's no reason to fire him. So everybody should assume that he's innocent. I mean, you going out. Well, it seems like you're going out on a limb. You're not, because we all know he did it. But you can't say that he did it if the DA is saying he did.
And the thing is that you got to remember, in this social media society, we got short attention spans. So in 6 months, everybody gonna forget that this happened, or even if we don't forget, nobody's gonna be mad in 6 months. Probably in 3 months. So he'll be fine.
All right.
It's not gonna impact his career like that. I mean, it will impact his career, but he'll be fine. Trust me.
Jussie, all I know is, man, do Celebrity Big Brother. Please, brother, do not make a sex tape. I'm not clicking that link. I don't want to see it. We good, man. We don't need your name out there no more. No sex tape leaking out there. We don't need it. Please, for the love of America.
If he had came out and just said no comment when TMZ asked him, did he do it? Like, would he be better off? Just be like, no comment.
No. I think you gotta go. I think you did it right. I think you gotta go fully denial. Like, you gotta deny till you die.
I mean, I'm not gonna come out and say that I did do it, but at the same time, I'm not finna come out and say I didn't.
It's like the O.J. Simpson book. If I did do it, remember that.
Is he gonna write a book about this and be a bestseller?
There you go.
It's gonna be 6 pages. It's gonna be a 6-page book with the sex tape in there.
You gonna throw that in there just because he want to? All right,
man. Let's finish it up on a strong note.
All right, this next one must be yours, Paul.
You know it. Okay, so this was the viral story that went viral this week. So there was a dude. I guess he was in St. Louis. Decided to go to a bagel shop. Ordered the bagel St. Louis style, which of course nobody in the world has ever heard of except for you ST aliens or whatever you guys are over there. The skip to my Louisians. I don't know. But apparently in St. Louis they slice bagels. I didn't know this thing, but I guess there's a thing that's called STL style, and so then that just kind of that took off from there. And so basically, there were all these different memes of people putting like crushing up cereal and pouring like orange juice on it, and then calling it STL style. All kinds of different things. Just everything that disgusting things to do with food, and basically calling it STL style. And so I just, as the two resident STLians, or whatever y'all are called, is this a real thing? Are you upset about this viral phenomenon?
Okay, first of all, I hate bagels. Let's get that out. I hate bagels. Bagels are trash. Y'all got to get out here with bagels. But I have never, and I've been around a lot of white people eating bagels. Been around a lot of white folks eating a lot of bagels. Never seen anybody cut no bagel like some bread and then put anything on it. Now, they may cut it in half like you're supposed to, like a sandwich, put their stuff on it and bite into it, but that's it. That's all I've seen. And basically, this has gone too far. St. Louis has been thrown under the bus. I had to ask some people, do you do this? And they said this is a thing that you can go to the bread company and ask them to cut it that way. But I've never seen anybody actually cut it that way.
But is it called STL style?
I don't know about that. I think just because it's St. Louis Bread Company. So I think that's what it's about. And I also saw Twitter, Chips Ahoy was throwing shade on us too, saying that in St. Louis, we pour the milk into the bag of chocolate chip cookies. Yes. And so I had to add them and say, keep our name out your mouth, Chips Ahoy, because you don't know us.
You don't know us. Yeah. And that was my first introduction to all this madness when Paul sent that Chips Ahoy clip, and I'm like, what is this? I'm like, don't nobody eat no cookies like that.
No, it said that's
carton?
exactly how I eat my cookies every day.
No, I'm like, what is going on? And then I, kind of followed that, and I saw this whole bagel thing. For me, I never have ordered bagels like that. I didn't really know it was a thing, but after I went and looked at a picture of it, I think I have had bagels
see?
like I have been at a work event or something where they slice the bagel small, and I just figured, if you got a big
right, you just
conference or something
blast.
like that, they just do that because they cheap and they don't want to give everybody a bagel, so you chop it 6 ways and everybody just get a piece of a bagel. But I didn't know that was an actual thing, like that was done in St. Louis. I don't do that. I do eat bagels. I don't
I
cut
was
them.
just gonna say, do black people eat bagels that
Yeah,
don't have a sandwich? That's not a sandwich.
that's not a. What do you mean that's not a sandwich? Oh yeah,
I've seen people make a sausage bagel, sandwich.
I'll eat bagels
cream
but
cheese
you
and
just eat
lox,
a bagel.
man.
yeah,
You do a
just get
cream
some
cheese and
cream
lox bagel, you
cheese,
straight, man.
give me
Okay.
some cinnamon raisin bagels, and
Yeah, cinnamon raisin.
toast it a little bit. I'll do that. But yeah, I'm not with the chopping up of the bagels, but I think I have seen it. But yeah, don't disrespect. Like most people that I even know that ask about it, like we don't do that. I think that's just
Right.
a big
Just like
thing
that.
for work events when you don't want to spend that bread.
I refuse to believe it. I
No
know
pun
y'all do
intended.
this. Y'all just keep it a secret. I know there's some nasty STL style food y'all be eating. Y'all just don't want to tell me. But I get it. I see how
Yeah.
we roll.
Signature stuff for St. Louis. You got the Chinese food. Come get your St. Paul sandwich that you can
Nobody know
only
what kind
really
of meat
get
that is.
St.
Yeah, you don't know
Louis.
what kind of meat it
It's
is.
Chinese food.
Yeah, Chinese food's
It's
called
chop suey.
St. Paul.
Chop suey. We don't have Chinese food in St. Louis.
The,
It's chop suey.
the place that's always closed every Christmas, but there's no Chinese food on Christmas. Y'all told me in St. Louis.
Yeah,
Okay.
No,
but
I think there is.
like
There
a
is.
chop
Because
suey.
remember, we
You told
called.
us. Yeah,
Yeah,
you told us.
or you called some places.
Yeah, yeah. I called for
Paul
y'all.
called St. Louis and started calling all the chop suey.
Oh man, that
Right.
one girl was
He
cool.
called
That
us
one girl was
OG.
mad cool, yo. That
That's
one
how
girl,
you spent your Christmas is calling Chinese food restaurants.
1,000 miles away, asking what the hours were.
Right.
The one girl just said, I remember that one. The one girl, I said, what's your hours? She said, we don't have. We just here until till nobody
Right.
calls anymore.
Right. But no,
Yep.
you
So
got
that's the true Chinese place right there.
you got the
Toasted
St.
wrap.
Paul sandwich, you got the Emo's pizza, you got toasted ravioli. Like those are the
Hey,
signatures.
can we start?
of
Can
the
we start claiming White Castles? We need to claim White Castles too.
You can't really claim White Castle. That's not just here.
Yeah, because it's
I think it's
not
like
really
I think that's
everywhere.
Kansas City. I think that's
But it's
Kansas
not
City
really
though, right?
everywhere. It's not really everywhere. I think it's a small enough area where we can claim it for St. Louis. Straight up. Everybody I know out of town that lives somewhere else, they ain't got no White Castles.
No, they had them up north, man. They got them up north.
Yeah,
We
they
had
got
them in
it in
Memphis.
certain.
I never saw
Texas.
crystals until I came to the south.
The Dallas Crystals was trash,
Mm.
but y'all can keep that. We ain't trying to claim them. I want to claim White Castles.
Also, shout out to Vest. Shout out to Red Hot Rippling.
Red Hot Rippers used to be fire in high school. I can't eat them no more now because I'm old, soft, and trash. I might be in the hospital if I do. Hey, you know it's true. It's a lot of stuff you can't eat no more.
Yeah, so Paul, you just let us know when you come to the STL. We'll take you to all the spots that you need to go to, not the local touristy spots that you're gonna get on the if you go on TripAdvisor. We're gonna take you to the real places. And to our listeners, let us know, where should we take Paul? We're gonna get Paul, Boxwine Poppy, to fly to STL. Where should we take him to give him that authentic St. Louis feel? So that's what we need to figure out.
I'm gonna take you to Carrie's Corner Market and get you some of that chicken.
I'm going to
Some
whatever
chicken
strip
from my
club
uncle's spot.
G keeps recommending to me.
Oh.
That's the first place I'm hitting up. Me and
He
G.
keeps telling you a pink slip. There you go. Take it.
Hey, I saw. Hey, look, Darius Miles was talking about the pink slip in some article I read not too long ago. So I was laughing about that, man.
Why did that
Miles. Shout out to him and Quentin Richardson Knuckleheads podcast. Been listening to that lately.
Oh, they got their own podcast now.
Yep, it's called the
man,
Knuckleheads. It's pretty good actually.
Yeah, we got to open it too since what's name is on the paid service. So I got some extra time. I'm gonna put it on my podcast list.
Mm-mm-mm.
There you go. Well, I guess it is about that time. I solicited y'all a couple of times. If you want to email us to give us some suggestions, to send us hate mail, or just to let us know what you think about the show, you can hit us at the blackdelegatespod@gmail.com. We are also all over these social media avenues. You can check us out on Facebook. We are on Twitter and Instagram at Black Delegates. There's an underscore between Black and Delegates. If you want to follow Boxed Wine Poppy on Twitter, he is at Boxed Wine Poppy. The Black Ryan is at the Black Ryan, and I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Ish Creates. That's ISH Creates. Paul, people want to help out the show. What can they do?
Hey, go out there, whatever podcast site you're using to listen to us, go out there and rate us and review us, man. Give us 5 stars. That's what we want. 4 stars are good, 5 stars are better. So do that for us.
And also go on other podcasts and comment under their comment section. This ain't as good as the Black Delegates podcast.
And then give them 0 stars, please.
Right. Like, this is pretty good, but not quite the Black Delegates podcast.
Word.
Wow.
Ryan, any last words?
Yeah. Chips Ahoy. Keep our name out your mouth. We don't eat our cookies like that. We don't play that. And if you know better, you know what we about in St. Louis. We've been on the top killing list for a long time. And if you want this smoke, you can get this smoke. St. Louis style that.
If you know, you know.
That's it.
Peace.
Peace.